Yes, yes, that's correct. This contingent of people wandered in a 40-year trek in this obliqueness, completely supplied, growing into a nation of many people. As they moved about, they planted this slow-growing tree to honor the hand of God's provision and blessings for future generations after them. The orderly progression of time and activity continued as God arranges, piece by piece, the environment in which later events would take place. Created elements appeared in a natural progression first after saying, "Let there be light," on my table.
If I may, Professor, there's something I'd like to add to this.
Sure, go ahead.
Also, across the continent, the Creator's work table shifts across masses of land to another continent in his creation plan, North America, 300 BCE to 1300 CE. A small band of people subsisted on wild foods, one being the bean of the mesquite tree, rich in protein, allowed healthy reproduction of their numbers. Their numbers multiplied, causing groups to split into tribes, moving into other areas of God's creation. The sap of the mesquite tree identified a tribe by painting their pottery with black paint from boiling its sap and applying it to a pot of tribal design. Strong weapons were made from its wood. Roofs of their pit homes were made by bending limbs of mesquite in dome shape over a structure, and applied body paint boiled from mesquite sap designated a held tribal position. Bean pods were gathered in midsummer, were ground into flour and allowed to harden into cakes. The Totem Odom tribe called them turtles, saved for a food supply the rest of the year. Rehydrated with water, softened the cakes and made into flat bread, mostly called tortillas. Other tribes mixed the cakes with cactus juice and allowed the organic liquid to ferment into a sweet syrup concoction with undertones of honey, citrus, and cacao. Remnants of God's supply through the millennium of ages have been almost forgotten, largely because of the passage of time and given technological advantages in growing other crops. Through the ages, skills multiplied, improving how lives were lived.
We look for God's work in His creation, or proof that the biblical events are real in His Word. It is in God's Word we measure this hidden remnant and strengthen it by and with an historical event of a miracle. Miracles change the way we see God, opening our eyes not to the miracle, but building our faith and trust in Him. Miracles are remnants, the foretaste stitched with the present for what He will ask of us in the future. Mentioned 540 times in the Bible as remnants, in our walk of faith as a deposit in what He is going to ask of us in the future. Miracle remnants, like manna, continue moving across the Creator's work table in our millennium in every season of life. 2 Corinthians 5:7, "For we live by faith, not by sight."